I'm delighted to have welcomed you to Bern today and to see the conclusion of the substantive negotiations between Switzerland and the European Union. Together, we honour this momentous step for the bilateral approach and the intensive process that has led us to this point. Our negotiation teams have been able to develop balanced solutions in the interests of both sides with great dedication. On the 13th of December, the Federal Council discussed the state of negotiations, and today the last issues were decided upon. My colleagues on the Federal Council's European Policy Committee will be addressing at a press conference after our statements the details of the individual points. Today is a milestone for the stabilization and further development of our bilateral relations. This is in the interests of Switzerland's and the EU's population. Our economies, employees, consumers, students and researchers benefit from this. The entire society does. In view of the current geopolitical situation, this is a particularly valuable outcome. Sturdy bilateral relations can help us to reinforce the continent as a whole. Switzerland and Europe stand for fundamental values: democracy, the rule of law, and an economy that combines entrepreneurial thinking and social achievement. This is a model that prioritizes people. It is our responsibility to ensure that these values stand the test of time. For this reason, in particular, the negotiation delegations left no stone unturned. In 200 challenging sessions, they sought out solutions that would work for both sides. This process has now come to a substantive conclusion, and the Federal Council is convinced that the outcome of the negotiation is good and beneficial to both partners. I thank the delegations for their extraordinary efforts. I thank the involved departments and employees of the federal government who have helped shape this process. Without close and constructive collaboration between the departments, a result as we have now achieved it would not have been possible. I would like to thank in particular the cantons and economic and social partners who are indispensable in achieving solutions in a country that is federal as Switzerland is. I thank the European Commission and you, Madam President, for our intensive and trusting collaboration over the past months. Madam President, Ursula, we opened negotiations on the 18th of March. Before that, we had the pleasure of discussing matters at the WF in Davos. Overall, we have met over half a dozen times, most recently at the European Political Community Summit in Budapest. A most important topic for these meetings was security in Europe, and in particular the Ukraine war. We have also discussed the increasing conflicts around the world, the fragmented global order, and the growing economic protectionism. This is the global backdrop against which Switzerland and the EU have been addressing their bilateral relations. I am very pleased that we have come to a good conclusion and that the goals of the Federal Council have been achieved. I thank you, Ursula. Thank you for your dedication to this process. This marks the beginning of the political debate in Switzerland. After a phase of legal review and the formal conclusion of negotiations, including initialing, Switzerland, its parliament and voters will take the lead. Democratic processes take time. They are not always easy, but they are highly legitimate. Madam President, ladies and gentlemen, the outcome of negotiations that this meeting centers around is the result of hard work. In an environment that is difficult from a global perspective, this is a strong, positive signal that Switzerland and the EU were able to reach an understanding. Thank you. Thank you, President Amherd.